On Osrc News at 7, Governor Aiyedatiwa affirms commitment to improving Ondo State students' welfare. Ilesha Garage undergoes reconstruction to improve quality of commerce. Police suspend enforcement of tinted glass permit. And from the foreign scene, Myanmar military strikes village, killing 24 people. Good evening and welcome to the news. I am Obi Chukwemeka Oti. We begin from the home front and on education tonight. Student leaders across tertiary institutions in Ondo State have been commended for their responsible conduct, evident in the prevailing peace in the education sector. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, during a meeting with student representatives in Akure, said no reports of unrest or violent agitation have been recorded within the student community in recent times, a development he credited to their discipline and constructive engagement. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who noted that the economic hardship faced by citizens following ongoing reforms at the national level is temporary, promising to sustain and improve efforts that promote their welfare and well-being. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details of the visit.
Seated here at the Cocoa Conference Hall of the Governor's Office in Akure are student leaders across tertiary institutions in Ondo State. Student leaders were at the Governor's Office on a thank you and familiarization visit following the emergence of new leadership across tertiary institutions in the state. Setting the tone, Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Segun Omoyofunmi, commended the Governor's sustained engagement with youths, describing him a listening leader genuinely concerned about their development. He praised the Governor for approving bursaries and scholarships in double folds for the first time in the state's history.
The activities or achievements so far in the Ministry of Youth and Sport is not political advertisement like others or self-advertisement, but it's in line with the youth agenda of Mr. Governor.
Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Student Affairs, Kelvin Solomon Olaolu, applauded the Governor for his calm leadership and unwavering support for the student community.
In the history of student unionism in this state, they have maintained the wisdom of God.
Student leaders from across the state, while thanking Governor Aiyedatiwa for his strides at making the state better, appealed to government to address challenges facing tertiary institutions, including transportation, security, and general welfare.
You gave assurance that you are going to appoint our stakeholders into cabinet too, and the stakeholders have been appointed. We are saying big thank you, Mr. Governor.
The way you supported our programs previously and consistently shows that you are interested in students and your intellectual engagement. We are grateful for that, Mr. Governor.
Superbank is not too small to give out scholarship to more than 20 to 40 Ondo students to do their masters.
I'm pleading that the request of National Female Association of Nigeria Ondo State Chapter be granted.
We beseech and implore the governors of our east to see the region beyond an extraction zone to a zone of innovation and investment.
Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who commended the student leaders for their responsible conduct, which is evident in the prevailing pace in the education sector, said economic hardship faced by citizens following the ongoing reforms at the national level is temporary. The governor promised to sustain and improve efforts that promote their welfare and well-being.
Since I've been governor of this state, your cooperation has been wonderful. We have not been students unrest, as it were. You engage clearly without any form of violent agitation. I I want to commend all of you.
Aiyedatiwa highlighted ongoing and completed projects across the state, including the reconstruction of the Akungba-Ikare Road. He explained that the project was initiated to curb frequent accidents in the area and stimulate local commerce.
Ikare Road, 10-kilometer dualization. The road was bad. That was why we awarded it to the fix. It was an existing road. Population has increased. That used to be a single lane. But the traffic in that axis has so much increased that single lane is causing so much traffic. We have to dualize it and fix it. Yes, bursary, scholarship, and other financial assistance will be doing that. We will continue to do it. Motor refinery coming soon in the Southern Senatorial District, petrochemical industry, deep sea port. They will need technical staff that will work with them. So the earlier we are training our people, the better.
Aiyedatiwa reiterated his administration's renewed focus on technical and vocational education, describing it vital to industrial growth and job creation. As part of his administration's commitment to student welfare, the governor announced the approval of 5 new buses for student bodies across tertiary institutions in the state, with more to come. Aiyedatiwa reaffirmed his government's commitment to supporting education and youth development through scholarships, grants, and other financial interventions. Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Staying with education, the federal government says it has commenced the final phase of negotiations with Academic Staff Union of Universities and other tertiary education unions. Minister of Education Tunji Alausas, after a meeting of the Technical Working Group on Conditions of Service of Osrc in Abuja, expressed optimism that outstanding issues will soon be resolved to prevent further industrial action. He said the group is finalizing a counter-offer to be presented to the unions through the Allied General United Federal Government Tertiary Institutions Negotiations Committee. The minister quoted President Bola Tinubu as saying that all efforts must be made to keep Nigerian students in school and avoid disruption to the academic calendar. Not leaving education yet, as chairman of Akoko North East local government, Mohammed Olawale, has empowered students across the area by distributing school bags, exercise books, water bottles, and pens. The initiative aims to ease the burden of education expenses on students. Coordinated by Edu Minds Africa, the project also provided climate change education to the students. The report is presented from our studio.
Mohammed Olawale's intervention to students included educational materials distributed to several schools, including Agboriki Comprehensive High School, Victory College, Community High School Igboropa, Ansarudeen Grammar School, and Osele Community High School in Kariakoko. During the presentation, Edu Minds Africa educator Adetula Blessing enlightened students on climate change and taught them how to convert waste into wealth through recycling. This initiative is part of the ongoing effort to support education and environmental awareness in the community.
My advice for the students is to take whatever they've learned today and ensure that they keep their environment safe from plastics, and they ensure that they contribute to the climate action. And they ensure that they study as well, because education is important, and that is the goal of the chairman, Honorable Mutiu Olawale.
The chairman urged students to stay focused, remain dedicated to their studies, and avoid illegal drugs. He then launched the distribution of the educational materials.
To take their study, seriously, then to make sure as much as they can to avoid the illicit drug, to be focused on what they are doing.
Principals of the beneficiary schools expressed their gratitude to Mohammed Olawale and Edu Minds Africa for their support. They also encouraged the students to follow this example of giving back in the future, promoting a culture of kindness and community service.
On behalf of the all the staff, the SBMC member, the PTA, we really appreciate him for all what he has been doing for my school so far.
He gave them gifts like water bottle, like school bag, like biro and the notes for them to use it to write, so that they will know today as an important day in their life.
This is a wonderful program, unexpected program. We are not expecting this. Baba Neza has been confirmed to be a very responsible politician.
The founder of Edomite Africa, Motunrayo Oyedele, expressed commitment to the success of the initiative and commended Olawale for his generous support and partnership.
Our target was 6 schools, and we've gone to the 6 schools to sensitize them about climate change and education, and we also distributed learning materials to the students. This is actually a proud moment for me as a founder of Edomite, where I am seeing that my NGO is collaborating with government parastatals.
The highlight of the event was the distribution of educational materials, which sparked excitement among the students. The students lauded the intervention and encouraged other privileged individuals to emulate its gesture.
From education to development strides of the present administration, demolition of shops at Ilesha Garage in Akure has been described part of efforts towards infrastructure development. Osrc visited the site where shops were demolished and observed the effects on owners' businesses. Oluwanifemi Abayomi has details.
Ilesha Garage is one of the busiest business centers in Akure. It is populated by traders, transporters, and other daily operators. Various goods including car parts, livestock, provision, and food items dominate the business activity along the motor parks, true to its name, Ilesha Garage. According to some shop owners, the demolition exercise was carried out by local government officials. With several shops pulled down, many are left wondering the motive behind government action and how it will restructure business activity and movement in the area.
It affects our business very much because we are going to the season now. It's a month now, we're close to the season time, November, December. It affects our business very much because some most of my colleagues, they used to hang their goods inside the car. Some customers do not know anybody shop again, they don't know his name. So I'm just looking for person that have shop there. So please here. So we are the one where we say, is it tall, is it short? So it affects our business, but nothing to do with the government.
Àwọn àtúnṣe ìdìkan níbí ẹni chairman náà wá ṣàlàyé fún wa bí wọ́n ṣe fẹ́ ṣe bí wọ́n ní kì í ṣe pé ó ti pẹ́ tó ti pé wọ́n kàn wá láti wá pé gbogbo àwọn ọjà náà fẹ́ ṣe irú nǹkan bí eléyìí sí pé wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí ó fòwárù níbí.
Iṣẹ́ bíbá yìí ọdún ó lè pa wá lára with the time tán fún wa torí notice yẹn kéré gan, but at the end of the day I believe pé àwa la máa jèrè ẹ̀. Then a ti rí pé iṣẹ́ yẹn ń fast wọ́n dẹ̀ fún wa ní 16 weeks, so a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún un.
Osrc made inquiries to know if the occupants were notified before the exercise.
It's a 1 week notice, but nothing we can do. Government is government. And I will be very happy if the work starts and finish quickly.
Although only power that will be time to notice it, but at the end of the day, I believe our manage. Then I think we should fast. Not the fund system.
The affected traders thanked the Ondo State government for the development while urging authorities to keep their premises and prioritize their interests when the new structures are completed. Meanwhile, work is well underway on the site, with the foundation of the new buildings being laid. Oluwanifemi Abayomi, Osrc News.
In other stories, the Nigeria Police Force say the enforcement of the vehicle tinted glass permit has been suspended following a court order halting the exercise. Spokesperson for the Federal Capital Territory Police Command, Josephine Ade, said the decision to halt the enforcement came after the police officially received the court order. Ade explained that the order was introduced for security reasons, noting that some criminal activities had been carried out using vehicles with darkened windows. She dismissed claims that the policy was designed for financial gain, noting that all payments related to tinted permits are made directly to the federal government's treasury's single account, not to the police. He disclosed that the directive to suspend enforcement will remain in place pending the outcome of the ongoing legal process. In another development, the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, has appealed to hospitals to prioritize the treatment of road crash victims and not reject them when brought in for emergency care. FRSC Sector Commander in Plateau State, Olajide Mogaji, made the appeal in Jos, the state capital. Mogaji said FRSC is aware of complaints that some hospitals refuse to treat crash victims, an act that contravenes the law. He emphasized that there are penalties for any hospital found violating this directive and urged medical institutions to always give priority to emergency cases involving crash victims. The Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned the trial of the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, to October 16 for the presentation of his medical examination report by Nigerian Medical Association, NMA. The trial judge, Justice James Omotosho, adjourned the matter due to the NMA's inability to conclude its assessment of Kanu's health status and present its findings before the court. The Nigerian Medical Association had conducted court-ordered health checks on Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, following a federal high court order. Justice James Omotosho mandated that the NMA form a committee of medical experts from Nigeria's diverse regions and specialties to independently assess Kanu's health and determine if he should be moved from Department of State Services custody to the National Hospital for treatment. Subsequently, counsel for DSS Suraj Saad informed the court that the medical board had communicated that its report was not yet ready for submission as directed by the court. Kanu is being prosecuted by the federal government on charges bordering on alleged terrorism. We'll go on this break. When we return, we'll serve you more stories. Don't go away.
When it's bright and early, get your breakfast right. Then you need all the nutrients that will hold you tight. Then stay in power, you find it all in peak. Then every move you make, Peak's got you all the way. And the peak goes on.
Power on every morning with our Peak breakfast to make the most of every day. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Thank you for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV. And on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel, OSRC TV Ondo. Now to the rest of the news. The management of Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation Media Group has commiserated with one of its former board chairmen, Chief Sonya Oyinsan, over the passing of his wife, Florence. In a statement, the Director General, Mr. Kenneth Odushola Stevenson, described the death of Mrs. Florence Oyinsan a great loss not only to the immediate family, but to humanity. Odushola Stevenson highlighted the virtues of the deceased, asking God to comfort her husband, Chief Oyinsan. Mrs. Florence Olufunke Onyinson died on Monday, 6th of October, during an illness. Moving on to the foreign scene, a paramotor attack on a festival and protest in central Myanmar has killed at least 24 people and injured 47 others. A spokesperson from the exiled National Unity Government said around 100 people had gathered at Chongyu Township for the Tandugot Festival, a national holiday with Buddhist roots, when a motor-powered paraglider dropped 2 bombs over the crowd. The event was also a candlelight vigil protesting junta policies. Myanmar has been at civil war since its military seized power in the 2021 coup, where the UN estimates that the conflict has killed more than 5,000 civilians. The People's Defense Force officials said during the gathering they received information about a potential airborne attack and tried to quickly wrap up their protest, but the paramilitaries reached the scene earlier than they expected. Let's now turn our attention to the U.S., where President Donald Trump has again expressed optimism about the negotiations in Egypt to end the war in Gaza. It is the most intense push for peace in months. Mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and the United States have been working to overcome sticking points in Trump's 20-point peace plan. Blessing Obe tells us more.
With the Canadian Prime Minister by his side, U.S. President Donald Trump told reporters on Tuesday indirect talks to end Israel's war on Gaza are progressing.
I think there's a possibility that we could have peace in the Middle East. It's something even beyond the Gaza situation. We want a release of the hostages immediately.
It is the most intense push for peace in months. Mediators from Qatar, Egypt, and the United States have been working to overcome sticking points in the Trump's 20-point peace plan. Canadian's Prime Minister Mark Carney applauded Trump's effort to halt fighting in Gaza and beyond.
You are a transformative president, and since then, the transformation in the economy, unprecedented commitments of NATO partners to defense spending, peace from India, Pakistan through to Azerbaijan, Armenia, disabling Iran as a force of terror.
Despite that praise, both leaders have in recent months bickered publicly. In July, Trump threatening Canada's backing statehood for Palestine, arguing it would make patching up their trade disputes very hard. Trump opposes Palestinian statehood. At the United Nations last month, he admonished Canada and other U.S. allies for recognizing Palestine, calling it a reward for Hamas. Trump's pressuring Israel and Hamas to come to a quick agreement, but there is skepticism a peace plan can hold. Earlier this year, Israel broke a 42-day ceasefire when it bombed Gaza in mid-March. Most recently, when Trump first announced his peace plan, asking Israel to stop bombing Gaza, Israel continued its attack, ignoring the U.S. president's call, killing more than 100 Palestinians. Still, Trump is adamant.
Now, we are going to do everything possible. We have a lot of power, and we're going to do everything possible to make sure everybody adheres to the deal.
Currently, there's a U.S. negotiating team in Egypt to overcome 2 major sticking points: the release of captives and the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza. On Tuesday, Trump dispatched a second team of negotiators to help hasten a deal. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
Now to sports. Nigeria and Argentina will once again set the global football stage alight at the round of 16 of this year's FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals. Both countries have fought memorable battles in the FIFA World Cup finals, FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals, and the men's Olympic football tournament. But the most recent remains Nigeria's spectacular 2-0 defeat of Argentina when they hosted the FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals 2 years ago. Flying Eagles played a hard-fought 1-1 draw against Colombia, a result that sealed Nigeria's passage into the round of 16. Speaking after the match, Aliyu Zubair highlighted his side's tactical discipline and mental resilience as the key factors behind their qualification. According to him, the Flying Eagles went into the encounter fully aware of Colombia's physical and technical strengths, but adapted effectively in the second half to contain their opponents. The coach credited his players for maintaining focus and fighting spirit throughout the encounter, noting that securing qualification was the team's only priority. The match between Nigeria and Argentina kicks off at 8:30 tonight. To round off the news at 7, here again are the major highlights. Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has commended students for contributing to the peace regime experience in various institutions across Ondo State. He gave the commendation during a meeting with student leaders in Akure. The process for the reconstruction of shops at Ilesha Garage in Akure is underway. We also told you that enforcement of the vehicle tinted glass permit has been suspended by the Nigeria police following a court order halting the exercise. And from the foreign scene, Myanmar military has stormed a rival village, killing 24 people. With this present administration in Ondo State, we are building a brighter future for all, driven by innovation, productivity, and unity. Let's join hands and make our ease government an easy venture. And that's it on the news. Many thanks for watching. Good evening.